Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to morEwish Cuisine. Today I'm sharing a very different recipe from a very different cuisine. I am making Somali rice. There's a food blogger over Instagram. Her name is Shukriya. She is very sweet and a nice person. When I shared with her that I want to try her recipe, she went all the way. She helped me out in each and every step. This recipe is actually almost like a pulao. You have to make a broth with the meat and then rice will cook in that broth, but all the spices and all those ingredients are different and we add in a very different way. There's also a Somali green sauce which I'll be making along with these rice. So without further ado, let's go and make it happen. So let's start our recipe. Bismillah. First we're gonna cook our meat. Today I'm taking veal. Her recipe calls for goat meat, but you can take any meat. Even she said you can use vegetables as well. So adding water with that, with some garlic cloves, cubed onions. Then I'm adding some seasoned salt, curry powder, some cumin powder, and black pepper powder. I'm using roasted and crushed cumin powder, but her recipe didn't call for that. I already have that. So mix everything well with the meat, then cover and simmer and let it cook. Meat is completely tender. So when your meat is tender, now we need to take out the meat and strain the broth. So I am putting a strainer on top of a bowl and then putting all those cooked meat mixture on top of it so stock will come out. Now we'll put stock and the meat on the side and we'll make a green sauce which we'll use all through the recipe. For that I'm adding cilantro in a blender jug with some garlic cloves and tomato and nothing else. Just add a little bit of water and blend everything well. Now put this on the side. I'm taking the same pot which I used to make the broth, adding some cooking oil and then transferring that cooked meat onto this oil and then cook for a couple of minutes, then adding the same seasoning, some seasoned salt, curry powder and cumin powder. Mix well, cook for like a minute or two, then add the green sauce which we just made. Mix well, saute for a couple of minutes, then simmer the heat. And now I'm adding some sliced onion rings and bell pepper. You can use any color, I'm using green. Then arrange it on top of the meat, don't mix, and then cover it and let it steam through for 10 to 15 minutes. Done. Now another cooking pot, I'm making rice. For that I am heating up some oil and adding some chopped up onions and cook until they get light, very light, nice golden color. Then here I crushed some cardamom, cloves and cinnamon stick, adding that, cooking for like a minute or two, then adding some rice which I already pre-soaked and they are drained rice. Saute for like a minute or two. The heat is high at this time, adding that remaining green sauce which we just made, mix through. Then adding the same seasoning, seasoned salt, curry powder and cumin powder. Mix everything well. Now we'll add the broth which we put on the side, as just eyeball it however much your rice need, like we do in pulao. I already added the seasoned salt according to the recipe, so I added remaining salt to cook the rice. You can add seasoned salt as well. Cover and let it cook until all extra water dries out. Give it a stir very carefully. Then I'm putting it on dum like we do with the pulao. So I'm just putting a griddle underneath, adding a food color which is optional on the half of the rice. Cover and let it steam through until rice fluff. Now I am making the same green sauce which we'll be serving as a side. So using the same blender jug, adding some green chilies, onions and tomato with cilantro, garlic cloves and some lemon juice and vinegar. Recipe calls for lime juice. I already had the lemon. Seasoning with some black pepper and salt. Blend it well and this green sauce is ready to serve. Now for serving, just layer the cooked rice, top it off with the cooked meat, and then I arrange some those cooked onion rings and bell pepper on top of it. You can serve the meat on the side as well. So it was a very different but a flavorful recipe and my family thoroughly enjoyed it. And after all these recent events, I thought to celebrate rich African heritage by trying out their recipe. And not only me, there are other food bloggers who are participating. They will be each sharing one recipe each day over Instagram. So don't forget to check out my Instagram. I'll be sharing there links on my stories. Don't forget to check out Shukriya's Instagram as well. Please go and show her some love. She is the sweetest thing recently happened to me. And once again, thank you so much for watching. And if you like this recipe, don't forget to click on the links to enjoy a lot more recipes like this.